allowed me to explore and express that which I'm passionate about. And for that, I'm very grateful. I know that Stephen had to run off, but the support I have received from the likes of Stephen, from the likes of Bernard, from the likes of Richard, from all the various executives, Fanny included, has been amazing. The space and the scope. I remember Stephen once said to me, Set, I'm an entrepreneur, you're a social entrepreneur. The space that you enterprise in is a space I don't understand. And the best I can do is to give you the support and space for you to express that very space you're so passionate about. So I'm very, very grateful for this place called Investec. In fact, it's very difficult to divorce this place called Investec from this book. And a lot of it, you'll see as you read, makes a lot of mention to Investec. I don't want to say too much, but I reflected on what happens at book launches. Because this is my first. Never had a book launch. Please God, let it be first of many, but this is my first. And one of the things I picked up about what happens at book launch is that people read parts of their chapters. And I thought I'd take this moment not to read many parts of my chapter, but read the introduction, because the introduction perhaps talks a lot to why I would have decided to put pen to paper. So I will begin. After I matriculated from Manhlatle 2 Senior Secondary School in the rural village of Makadikwe in Limpopo, I had two possible career choices in mind. One was law and the other was social development. While I thought law could be an interesting and possibly more financially rewarding career to pursue, my upbringing and local surroundings, which were characterized by socio-economic challenges, ultimately got the better of me. I wanted to follow a career that would lead to the development and empowerment of others. So social development was the career line I chose. As a son of a domestic worker, I grew up surrounded by real everyday struggles for survival. As a result, I came to appreciate every opportunity for self-improvement that came my way, and ultimately, the facilitation of similar opportunities for others became my desire for my future life and career. After a few years studying at the University of Cape Town, I knew I had made the right decision. I subsequently joined Accenture as a business analyst and made it to the position of management consultant during my time there. Although it was not part of my day-to-day role, while at Accenture, I voluntarily served on the Social Responsibility Committee simply because this is a genuine passion of mine. While my time at Accenture remains amongst my professional career highlights, in part because it was my first real job with growth challenges, my longest career to date as a corporate social investment practitioner at Investec remains the brightest. It has been a privilege to pursue that which I'm passionate about within Investec, and I'm grateful for the opportunity, the scope, and the executive support my colleagues and I within the CSI division have received over the years. I feel I must disclose that this has been a very happy association and one which has allowed my own views around CSI to bloom, while complementing the values and the mission and ambitions of the firm. It is thanks to my experiences in the space that I saw fit to put pen to paper in the hope of making a contribution to the CSI knowledge base and practice, both in my home country and possibly the world. During the following pages, I will occasionally deep in and out of my experiences at Investec, not to blow my own trumpet or that of the firm, but by way of demonstration or to make a point. I think it is vitally important for practitioners in the CSI space to have access to practical insights as well as theoretical views. Without sharing our experiences and mistakes or successes and challenges, we cannot expect to professionalize the sector and have CSI take its rightful place in the curriculum of MBA and general management degrees. Throughout much of 2013 and 2014, I undertook a more academic research journey into the field of CSI and corporate social responsibility for my master's dissertation. It was a wonderful opportunity to cement my own views on the nature of CSI in South Africa and fully immerse myself in current global thinking and debates around corporate giving. Now and then in this book, I allude to some of my findings in order to make one or two key points. I'm by no means a world-renowned expert in the space, but I began to feel that my experience could be very useful if shared in a book that aims to be a guide to CSI for the academic, for the CSI practitioner, and any other interested individual or entity. Writing this book has been about making a contribution to the CSI knowledge base. It is my hope that it will help find ways of making our CSR approach and associated initiatives more impactful for the benefit of the many individuals and communities that desperately need carefully thought through CSI initiatives. May those grappling with how best to approach CSI find points raised and discussed here thought-provoking in a way that positively contributes to how they view and shape their CSI strategy and approach going forward. And I want to draw to a close because it's quite a chapter, an introductory chapter. And as I draw to a close of that introductory chapter, I read, when you start drilling down into the bones of an effective CSI approach, you must place impact at the center of everything you do. This requires answering a number of difficult questions and being honest about why your organization wants to give back. It is the reason why I have adopted a question approach to the structure of this guide. It makes sense to me and gives the formulation of a meaningful CSI strategy logical flow, which ultimately could contribute towards effective implementation. Together, we will unpack what I consider, based on my own experiences, to be essential aspects of CSI practice. Beneath each question, we find answers to CSI in practice. So across 8 accessible and focused chapters, I look forward to sharing my know-how and insights, tips, and to some extent, my master's research findings as we answer the following questions. Why? What? For whom? With whom? How? When? How are we doing? What next? Why, for example, talks to purpose and motive. With whom looks at partnerships and how we make these work. What next looks at the next possible steps after answering how we're doing. CSI is a passion for me, and in the pages that follow, I look forward to sharing that passion with you.